Hey everyone. So, as I mentioned before in the previous video, today we're going to talk about the University of Lincoln. All of the information about the university will be below. At the moment it's not there because we haven't put it there yet, but after this video we will put the information of the university, our information, so you can get in touch with us. And yeah, if you have any questions, you will be able to use the email and the Facebook that will be like below, and you can contact us. So first of all, I'm gonna again introduce us a little bit. We are called Student Financial Support Fund. That's our name. We are a non-profit organization, and we work with students who want to go study abroad. We mainly work with UK, Denmark, and Netherlands. So we provide all of the help that you might need from starting your application to choosing the right university, to finding accommodation, finding scholarships, basically anything. And most of our staff has studied abroad or is going to go study abroad or is currently studying abroad. So we have a lot of people who have a lot of experience, and all of our advice comes from our own experience. So we will not recommend anything that we are not 100% sure of. We also provide financial assistance. We have our own scholarship, plus we give you any information about any scholarships that are available specifically for you, as in because it depends on what subject you want to study, what country you're from, your family income, and different things. Most of you might know the UCAS deadline is slowly approaching, and that is 15th of January. And well, it's basically next week, and it will be good for anyone who's interested in studying abroad to do your application before that deadline. That is the first deadline. There is a second one to UK, but we always recommend you apply before the 15th of January. So if you are interested, please get in contact. We will give you all the information, all the details, anything you will need to do. We'll explain how it's done, how anything's written. So basically, this is why I'm doing these short videos. It's to introduce a couple of universities to you. So maybe you already applied, like you're in the process of applying, and you haven't decided yet on all of your choices, or you still have, one choice, like you don't have the last choice, or maybe like it would just be good for you to know. So then you would, know about what could you study abroad. So today we're gonna talk, as I said, about University of Lincoln. So University of Lincoln is, well, in Lincoln. Also, I will be looking that way quite a lot because my text is there. And not to forget anything or misspell or to give the wrong information, I do have to double check sometimes what I'm saying. Lincoln is actually a very historical town. So it is very, very beautiful. I do recommend Googling Lincoln. It is amazing. It's actually a very famous town because there was a lot of Roman settlements there, also Vikings. And this was, I think, the biggest or the most popular place amongst Romans in England because of its marine and because it was very well connected, like in terms of trade. It was source of all the water there, and you could transport food and other commodities quite easily. So therefore, it was good for them. Actually, might have heard a little bit about it, but in the 11th century, the Lincoln Cathedral was built. At that point, the tallest man-made construction or structure in the world. Obviously, at this point, there are bigger ones, but in the 11th century, that was the biggest one. And if you do go study in Lincoln, the Lincoln Cathedral will be the place where you will have your graduation. And again, Google that place because it looks amazing and it's very pretty, historical, very old English. Having your graduation there is probably going to be amazing, and you'll feel like you're in Hogwarts or you're royalty. So yes, let's continue. I need to press the button to go down to see all my text. So the interesting thing also with the university, that it wasn't created because of the government, it was actually created because of the community in Lincoln. So the people who lived there, they wanted to have a university. So, the town can develop, new people would come in more, new businesses would be there, the industry would grow. And quite recently, the university has, what was the amount again? Yes, they have invested 170 million into their facilities. So now, like, they're state of the art. They won awards for their facilities and buildings. I've seen some pictures, and the library is literally amazing. It's brand new. Like, you have all the books. You have, I think it's open like during the exam session, 24/7. But otherwise, it's not open until 10 or 11 in the evening, and it's huge. The university is a city university, so that means it's in the city. You're not going to be outside the city. But the campus itself, everything's very close together. So all the buildings are very close together. So if you have a friend and they're studying business and they're going to be in the business department building and you're studying media, it's very easy to find each other. You're very close. And all of the halls of residence are also located very, very close. So, you don't have to like wake up like very early. Everything's done for the students. Everything's very comfy. And the Lincoln railway station is only 5 minutes away from the university. So any point you want to go, to London or any other town, 5 minutes walk. And Lincoln is 90 minutes, I think, about 90 minutes by train. Again, if you want to go to London, it's just a train right away. So quite easy in terms of travel. Excuse me. I pressed the button too much. And yes, so the university has been praised for a lot of things. And for example, The Independent, the newspaper, which you might have heard of, they wrote that Lincoln University is the best thing to happen to Lincoln since the Romans. The thing is, because the university does, bring businesses to the city, they also play a big role in the community there because the city is growing, more students, the city is getting better, and the city is getting more like publicity because of also all the research that Lincoln does. So if you do not know that, Lincoln is quite famous for the research in terms of like cancer, politics, like decrypting baby talk, I think, and also quite a lot of other things, robotics also, and so that is research. That is mostly for master's/PhD students. But if you're interested in research or you're interested to be surrounded by people that do groundbreaking research, I think this would be a very good place for you. And so it is quite, let's say, a young university, but in the last 4 years, it has risen for about like 60 places. So that is like a very drastic, like going up the ranking table. So that only shows how good the university is, that it can manage to develop so quickly. And the quality of the research is amazing. And even if you're going to be a bachelor student and you have nothing to do with the research department, your teachers will probably be doing the research, so you will get all the information. And all of the staff, they're quite famous in their own fields. So that means you're going to study for a person who's not just telling you about what they know, like because they study at the university now, they're lecturers. No, they actually work in that field. They are known for their work there. Also, there's a lot of guest speakers and like guest lecturers. And again, those people are working in the industry, they are successful in the industry, and it's a good chance to learn more about what you want to do and the field you're studying, to get contacts and to get advice from actually people who are currently like doing what you want to do in the future. So it is a very amazing opportunity. Yes, and the Sunday Times actually said that their progression in the ranking tables is the most dramatic transformation of a university in the recent times. And honestly, working in this field, I can say it is quite amazing how fast they managed to, develop. One of the higher rank, like let's say more famous or higher ranking subjects that they teach is computer science. It is very like, cutting edge, and like everything we do is what is happening right now. Like they are not just teaching you how to use computers and like, programming and whatever else can go into computer science, but they actually want you to go further, like be part of the research, like be help with everything. So one of the things that they have is a robot. It's called Mark, and everyone who is learning computer science has to work with the robot. So for example, the bachelor students would be teaching the robot how to play rock, paper, scissors, while that's the first year bachelors. And the third year bachelors, who are already pretty much close to their graduation, they would be teaching the robot how to identify sound, so like what sound would mean something. And not a lot of computer science programs do have that. And if you want to succeed, I think this is one of the best programs, because you're going to be studying obviously the modules that you study in a lot of places, because you do need to know the basics, but you'll also be doing something that other people are not doing. And a lot of their subjects are like the satisfactory level, because I've mentioned this before, that the student satisfaction is very, very important in English universities. That is one of the main things that people look at. A lot of their subjects are very high in student satisfactions. So, for example, I'm going to read out some of them. Psychology, like psychology is also super good there. It's like one of the best in the country. Zoology, transport and travel, design. Again, the design department is also like, I think it's number 6 or 7 in the country. Biochemistry and animal science. And Lincoln is 11th in the UK for student satisfaction. And UK means Scotland, Wales. I'm pretty sure that you count Northern Ireland for this specific ranking. So yes, their student satisfaction is like very, very good. If you go and read some reviews about the university, I've actually not seen anything bad about them. And the university is also in the top 10 for student experience in the Times newspaper, and Sunday Times also, by the way. But yeah, so that means the students who study there, they get everything they can get from their experience. So, it's not just going there, sitting, listening to a lecture, and then going back home. No, it's actually getting the full experience. You're gonna go away with like a lot of, I'm gonna say experience again, because that's the only word I can think of now. So yes, and as I also mentioned already yesterday with the University of West England, Bristol, that they offer the optional modules. So does Lincoln. So you can have optional modules, which means you have the core modules, which you do have to study, but then the optional ones, which help you to kind of, let's say, tailor the course a little bit more to your interest. So you don't have to study everything and all the theory. You focus a bit more on the things that you like and you want to do in the future. Lincoln is also accredited by quite a lot of bodies, or you could say institutions. And perhaps right now you're thinking, oh, who cares about that? Well, when you are going to study, you're going to graduate, that will will help you, because if it's accredited by a certain body, that means the curriculum itself is like very controlled. It has standards it has to be meeting, because the sort of body for example, a Royal Pharmaceutical Society or Bar Council, they need to see that their subjects meet their quality level, plus that they're up to date with the industry. So you're not just gonna study something from an old book. No, you're actually gonna study something that is very relevant. So getting a job after is easy, and in general, people go to get higher education. Main thing is to get a job, not to have a nice paper. And that is a thing you have to remember, that having a paper with a nice name of the university is, well, nice if you're just going to hang it on the wall, and that's the whole point. But most of us do go to, then get a better job, and you need to go and study somewhere where you will be satisfied with the experience, where you're gonna, get everything you can get from the experience, where you will get support, and also where you know that getting a job will be, let's say, maybe a little bit easier because you'll be more prepared for like the job industry, the job market. Sorry. Um, Another quite interesting thing, and I can name a couple of other bodies, by the way, or professional institution bodies, I don't know how to call them, that Lincoln does work with or is accredited by. There's a lot more than I'm gonna name because I don't remember all of them right now, but some of them are like Biomedical Health, British Psychological Society, Royal Pharmaceutical Society, Bar Council, also with like psychological society, for example, or pharmaceutical, because you're going to study a course that is accredited by them, that will mean that you could later on practice like psychology, and pharmaceutical, you can work in the pharmaceutical industry. They give you that accreditation. So, that's also quite important to know. Um, what else can I tell you? Yes, so Lincoln also has a very unique relationship with some, let's say, companies. One of them is Siemens. So that is the company that does phones. I think they do other electronics as well. And Lincolnshire Co-op. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's a big company in Lincoln. And basically, they work with them together. That means, they might give you some sort of projects to work on. They might come in and do special lectures. It's a unique relationship, so they're very integrated. And as I read and as I know for a fact, only a handful of top universities are holding global principal partner status with Siemens. So only a few universities in the world are actually in official partnership with Siemens, and Lincoln is one of them, which shows that their engineering programs are top notch because, one of the biggest companies is working with them. Um, as I mentioned, the staff is a lot of them will be doing research, so they will be PhD, let's say, students. A lot of them, in the industry, so they're giving their knowledge that they're gaining like right now. And I also mentioned the guest speakers, guest lecturers. So you're going to get a lot of different kind of information that is very like on point for you for getting ahead in the industry that you want to be part of. And yes, they do have quite a big range of courses. I'm not going to mention all of them again because there's too many of them. But as I said, psychology is one of the leading, IT, so computer science, and they have different let's say varieties, like different types of psychology, different types of computer science. They have international relations, very good. Like they are also amazing international relations, law, journalism, art, graphic design. I can keep on going, but they have a lot of different courses. So it is good if you're still not maybe you're not sure what you want to study. If you are not, if you're still a bit struggling and you're like, I don't know, maybe I want to do graphic design, maybe I want to do sculpture, please do get in contact because, we'll have a chat and then we could maybe find out what you're more interested in. Or perhaps there are some subjects that, well, you're not even aware that they exist and that will be your dream subject. But yes, so we do offer help, as I mentioned before. It can be a consultation in person. So if you're in any of the cities or countries that we have offices in, we could meet. Or we do have representatives in a lot of countries as well. So you could meet with them, but we also offer Skype consultations. So that means no matter where you are, we can meet, we can have a chat. Also, obviously, emails. And yes, as I mentioned before, we're a non-profit organization. That means our services are free of charge. So you just have to get in touch with us. And I will see you next week, or if you're going to watch this live stream later on, but then I'll see you on the other video. And next week we will be talking about other universities. And also next week, again, I want to remind, it is the UCAS deadline, so please remember that. And if you're planning to apply, please get in touch. Okay, so thank you for watching.